We all grew up in the same high school. Me and Jax, we graduated together. And Nate was a year older than me, and we played basketball together. You could like clearly tell that it was our first time on the stage because we were just like standing there, and like it just looked awkward and like didn't sound very good. How do we break that like normality or like the normalcy of just going straight to school? And so we like from that moment in junior year, we like manifested and like thought it out, and literally, you know, a month before like college started, we were like, dude, we're not going to school. I mean, essentially, everybody wants to make money on you, off of you. And so you never know, like, who has your best intentions. I really want to perform Light Up with you. Can we do this? And I was like, it's tomorrow? I was like, hell yeah. And I was like freaking out. My heart starts racing.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel. I'm here with SAMMY WILK.
Well, hello there. How you doing?
That accent already.
Well, hello there.
So you were born in Omaha, right?
Yep, Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah. What was the environment like growing up there?
Environment in Nebraska. So it's like each season is like to the extreme. So when it's winter, it snows a lot and it's really cold. When it's summer, it's extremely humid and very hot. When it's fall, the leaves fall.
Yeah.
And when it's spring, it rains a lot for the most part.
What are your parents like?
My parents are the most amazing human beings in the entire world. Lori and Dave, shout out them. My mom is very loving, very optimistic, very athletic, she's a yogi. Yeah. Very spiritual. I don't know, she's amazing. She's strict, but like she's one of those moms where, like back in the day when I would get in some trouble, she would like be yelling at me, and then like mid-yell, she would like accidentally start like laughing. And so like my dad would have to take over.
Take over.
Yeah. No, but I don't know, she's amazing. She's very loving.
Yeah.
And then Dad, Papa Wilk, he is a very laid-back, loving. He was strict. Like he didn't want to be strict, but I made some like pretty stupid mistakes when I was growing up, so he'd have to be strict on me for the most part. He was my basketball coach growing up.
Oh wow.
He, I don't know, he's super. Especially nowadays, he's very laid back. He just retired, so he's like kicking it. He comes out to California every once in a while. What
did they do when you were growing up, like career-wise?
So my mom was a stay-at-home mom because I got 3 siblings.
Yeah.
And so we were always with her. She was like picking us up from school. My dad was in like medical sales, and that's honestly like the extent of what I know about it. But he worked for a company and he worked really hard his entire life, so we got the opportunity to retire at a decently young age. But yeah, both super hard workers. Yeah. Amazing.
Did you get your creative side from your mom then?
I would say no. Honestly, my creative side is from my dad.
Yeah.
Sip on something. It's from my dad. He's a really good drawer, artist. And I mean, but like they're both creative in their own ways. My mom's creative. Like she's always the one. Like nowadays, she'll like hit me up and be like, "Hey, what if you do like a song like this?" And like would like tell me some ideas, or like, "Hey, what if you make a YouTube channel and you like cook with," or like, you know what I'm saying? So like they both have like they're creative in their own ways. Yeah. They molded me to who I am.
How do you describe yourself back then growing up?
I was growing up, I was athletic, so I was always playing sports. And I was like, I guess I was like a class clown a little bit. Not really like a class clown because I go through moods kind of. I'm not like moody, but like some days I'd have a lot of energy and I'd be like wild and would get in some trouble. And I kind of talked back, like like in 5th grade. I was kind of like I would talk back and I was kind of smart to like the teachers or whatever. But I was always very respectful. I was a charmer. I would just like I would get a lot of things just by like trying to like charm the teachers. But then once I got to high school, I played basketball all through high school. And once I got to high school, I kind of like got a little more introverted and like was more calm and kind of like stuck to myself and like just my close homies. And But
Was there a turning point for that you became more introverted?
I think it was like probably like junior year. And it kind of depended, like at school especially, I became more, like I didn't really talk in class that much. I would like sleep. And I don't know, like I think it was probably like junior year. I was still like, I loved it, like I was always had fun, and I was kind of a partier because I'm the youngest of 3 or 4 kids.
Oh, yeah.
So like I like saw, and like they were all in college, and so I would like, I started, partying. So when I was partying, I was like I'll be like the center of the party, like just like make sure everybody's having fun. But yeah, that's kind of like how that's kind of how it was.
Did you have favorite subjects back then?
Favorite subjects? I would say like English. I liked writing papers for some reason, as long as they weren't too long.
Yeah.
I didn't like long ones, but I mean, I hated like math. I hated science. I mean, some science like stuff was cool, like science projects. Yeah, like I wasn't like really big on school.
Yeah, and then you got into reggae from your like sister's previous boyfriend, right?
Yeah, you read that? You did a little research, huh? Yeah, so my sister's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, was in a reggae band. I'm sure you already heard this spiel, but if you haven't heard this, he was in a reggae band. So when I was in like 7th, probably 6th grade, he kind of took me under his wing, taught me guitar. I would go to like his band practices, and he would take me to different concerts, and kind of just showed me, because like at a young age I wasn't like huge into music. I would just listen to the radio, but then like once he started taking me to the reggae shows and different concerts, I really got like super into that like second coming of reggae, like the revolutions and the irations and the the movement, Soja, I think I already said revolution, but revolution, and so that's who I like rocked with all the way through high school, and I just love it. It's a good vibe, and it like puts me in a good mood.
Were your friends also listening to this? Like, did you share it around?
Yeah, 100%. And like, I mean, it was kind of like it was pretty big in my high school, just like me and my close buddies.
Oh wow.
And like we would go to lake houses, because that's really all you can do in Nebraska is go to lake houses to have fun, and we would like get on the boat and listen to reggae music just because it fits the vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just fun.
What kind of music did your parents play in the house when you were growing up?
My dad was the music guy, and he was playing a lot of like, I'm like out of breath. He was playing a lot of like Counting Crows, The Train, like Dave Matthews Band. I swear those are like the main 3. I always heard Train. I heard like Drops of Jupiter and like Mr. Jones by Counting Crows. Those are like the main. And honestly, like music wasn't like a huge thing, but like when we were in the car, driving to wherever, that's what he would put in, like the CD. He'd put those CDs in, and
then did it click to you to start like singing at a young age?
I mean, honestly, like I would have fun and sing, but like it didn't really like become an actual thing until probably.
It was more recent, right?
Yeah, like probably like junior year, senior year, when I like first like went into a studio, got the opportunity to go into the studio and like try it. And I wasn't even singing at first. I was just like rapping, and I'm not a rapper, and I found that out pretty quick. But I don't know. It was cool to like actually hear my voice like on an instrumental, and like freestyle with my friends and whatever it was. But yeah, like fast forward to now, I would say like I've evolved much more, and like really am finding my sound and like the angle I want to take on things, and like what I want to talk about, how I want to inspire people, influence people. I'm just trying to be like a fun-loving human.
Yeah.
And like just to, like show people that you don't have to take things too seriously. And just live in the moment. That's the biggest thing.
How did you meet the Jacks and Skate? They're all in the same high school, right?
Yeah, we all grew up in the same high school. Me and Jax, we graduated together. And Nate was a year older than me, and we played basketball together.
Were you like in the same class, or was it like a small enough high school that you like met everyone?
Yeah, so I knew Jack and Nate actually. Like we all met probably in like 7th grade. And so like we were all kicking it. We were on the same friend group because we all lived like within a 2-mile radius.
Yeah. And also were like playing tennis together and everything.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, like freshman year. Jax played tennis, and I was like, all right, well, I don't have a sport this season, so I'm gonna play tennis with you.
Yeah.
And I wasn't very good at it, but it was fun.
And then when the Vine started taking off, like people in your school already knew, right?
Yeah, so it kind of like was overnight type of thing. Like they started getting pretty big on the internet, and then like through that, I got some like just like random people like showing up to my basketball games, like random girls, and it kind of like just happened really quickly. And that was when like I first started making music, and so it kind of just like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
How like they would come to my basketball games, and then they would hear I drop a song the next week, and just like continue to grow.
Yeah. Did your parents get the whole like Vine thing that was happening?
The what?
The Vines. Did they
I
get
mean,
it?
like they didn't really get it. They just saw like the repercussions from it, and they saw that I would go to Miami to go to an event with Jax, and like it was just like they saw what was happening, and it wasn't until literally like a month before college. I was gonna go to Lincoln, Nebraska. That's like Lincoln's the close city to Omaha. Yeah.
Like for your songs, how were you able to come up with them? Did you have like a producer initially, or how did that work?
So
out?
there was like one producer in Omaha that we knew, and so I just started going to the studio with him, and I was just like I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I was just like trying different ideas and like just throwing. I would just like write a verse together, and rap it, and like every time it would continue to get better. Obviously, the first song I did was pretty trash. Is that fruit?
Yeah, I don't know actually. I walk past it a lot.
He was like, all right, let's see what you got. So I would do some, and he'd be like, damn, that's tight. But like looking back, it wasn't tight. Obviously, there's like some cool songs that I recorded like way back, 2.5 years ago when I first started. But I mean, I feel like from the start to now, like every time I get in the studio and write a song, like it continues to evolve and continues to like get better. And
so you were doing all of this like after school, right? Like you would make time and like
yeah,
go to the studio.
Yeah, like the weekends.
Yeah. Was that something that you had people around you telling you to do? Because a lot of people who went from like social media started like singing careers. So you were kind of like early on before that, right?
Yeah, it was early. So I was before, because now everybody's a singer, and I'm not even like a singer. I just I make the music that I feel. But yeah, no, it was early on. Like it was before I was even like really had like a big amassed following. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just how I was doing it because I wanted to like try it.
Yeah.
And I liked writing in English, and I was like, let me just try to make this song. And I would like show my parents or like show my family, and they'd be like, this is actually tight. So I was just like, I love doing it. Let me just see if I can actually make this a thing.
And then did you see like early on all your fans like cross between the two? Like from your Vine presence to your music, and it kind of like switched around?
Yeah. So I mean like kind of, because I wasn't really ever like a viner. You know? I never really vined. I would just like do stupid. Who's calling me? I was never like a viner. I would like be in Jack and Jack's Vine, but like my Vine account wasn't like really anything like serious. It was just like me at a party or like me playing basketball or like something random. But I mean, honestly, I don't really know where the switchover was. I just saw that like people were enjoying my music, and that's kind of like the end of that. Like I really just saw like, yeah, they probably knew me from the internet, but as soon as I started releasing music, they were like on the music wave, and like I've kind of taken them up and down, like going through hip hop. Now I'm like more to like hip hop, reggae, but like sometimes I'll hear like a instrumental and it's more hip hop than anything else, and I'll rap a little more on it. And like, because at this point I feel like genres aren't really a thing. It's just like a mesh, like whoever can do whatever music they want to do. So that's like, it depends on what mood I am in, or like what I want to talk about.
And then so you went on the tour with the Jax. Was that the kind of first tour that you went on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That first music tour.
Yeah.
Like me and Nate were performing some music together, and it was crazy. Like that was such a, oh my God, and looking back, like, at the performances, you could, like, clearly tell that it was our first time on the stage, because we were just, like, standing there, and, like, it just looked awkward, and, like, didn't sound very good, but it was so much fun, like,
Yeah.
it was, you know, I'm, like, straight out of high school, like, traveling in a huge bus, and performing in front of thousands of, like, fans, like, it was so random, and so, like, wild, and, like,
Yeah.
they knew our words. It was crazy. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That was, like, some of the funnest times to this day, like, just so new to it.
When you were about to go to college, did you even know what you wanted to study, or were you kind of undecided?
No, I was extremely undecided.
Yeah.
But, like, I, for some reason, like, knew I wasn't going to go to, school. I don't even know how. Me and Jack G had a conversation, like, junior year. And we're like, dude, we were sitting down at the swimming pool, and we're like, dude, we got to find a way to, like, not go to school. And, like, let's not be just living our, like regular lives. No offense to, like, that. But he was like, we got to go do something, like, positive in the world. And, like, we got to go somewhere other than just school. How do we break that, like, normality or, like the normalcy of just going straight to school? And so we, like, from that moment in junior year, we, like, manifested and, like, thought it out. And literally, you know, a month before, like, college started, we were like, dude, we're not going to school.
Yeah.
We are doing something else. We're going to move out to LA. And it happened. And, I mean, it was, like, the craziest situation.
Yeah. Did you move out with your sister?
So I moved out first. And I was living, this lady let me live at her house. Or, like, she had, like, a few houses or whatever. And she let me stay at her condo in Santa Monica for, like, 5 months. Shout out to Lynn. You're amazing for that. And it was just me and Nate living at the crib, like, writing music, all that. But then I started, like, having meetings with people, and I would, like, have to schedule things.
Yeah.
So I got super overwhelmed, and, like, then I was like, yo, I called my sister Emily. I was like, yo, you gotta come, you gotta come out here and help me out with scheduling. I know you're good at that kind of thing. So she came out here and really helped me out, and, like, was, like, my day-to-day. She was going to meetings with me. She was scheduling things, telling me where to be when. And so, yeah, that was a huge help.
Yeah. And actually, early on, you had some, not like trust issues, but different type of people from, like, Nebraska, and you're, like, trying to get to know the people here.
Yeah.
And, like, knowing who to trust, who not to trust. Actually, even Derek said something similar.
Yeah. That dog just shitting.
Oh, yeah. How did you learn?
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't learned. We're in Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, all that mumbo jumbo, and I don't know if I'll ever learn. Obviously, I can like sense it, try to sense it as like to the best of my ability, and usually I'm pretty intuitive when I make decisions. But I mean, like, yeah, it's tough. Like, everybody wants to. I mean, essentially, everybody wants to make money on you, off of you, and so you never know like who has your best intentions. I want somebody that I can like trust, and I know that they are super, like they are like as passionate about my career as I am. I need somebody that's gonna go out there and like try to make moves with me. And it's tough. Like, I honestly, to this day, it's tough, and it's tough. Like, because of that reason, it's tough for me to commit, because it's tough. Like, I try to just be intuitive and like I believe them, but then like they'll do something and I'll be like that's whack as hell. So I don't know. We'll see if it like ever is like gets to a point. I think I just got to get to a certain level where I got to just trust my gut more. But I don't know. Hollywood's just a crazy place.
Yeah. Can you describe the performance you did in Hollywood Bowl? That must have been crazy for you.
Oh, the Hollywood Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to this day. That's probably like the most mind-blowing, one of the most mind-blowing things I've done yet. If you guys, so it was with Ky Mani Marley, who's one of Bob Marley's sons. He featured on my first project, we made a song called Light Up, and it was a great song. I love that song, and a lot of people loved it. Fast forward, he's got a show in Hollywood Bowl. I didn't even know about it. I got a call the day before from him, and he's like, "Yo, Sammy, like, I got a show tomorrow at the Hollywood Bowl. Would love," he was just like yelling in my ear, and I was like, "What?" He was like, "I got a show at Hollywood Bowl. I really want to perform Light Up with you. Can we do this? And I was like, it's tomorrow? I was like, hell yeah. And I was like freaking out. My heart starts racing. And he's like, we got sound check tomorrow morning at like 11 a.m. Like, make it. We're going to sound check, and we're going to perform it. And I was like, holy shit, what? And I just like sat down, and I was like, honestly, like I swear I blacked out for like 2 days straight, just from like shock. But I pull up to the sound check, and it's the first time I've ever seen Hollywood Bowl from the inside. It sits 17,000, and it's huge, and the stage is huge. We sound check, and I'm like getting giddy. I'm like, ooh, and he's got like a 10-piece band behind him.
Oh my gosh.
Sound check, and then fast forward to the moment of the show, and I pull up. I'm nervous as hell. I start seeing everybody come in. There's like, it's sold out reggae festival. It's not my fans that are like in the crowds. It was my first time like performing in front of like not my fans who usually know my music. And so I am like on the edge of my seat, nervous, and it's like 10 minutes before showtime, and I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, and I don't really get nervous, but I'm like seriously freaking out. So I like go grab a beer, like try to loosen up, just like drink the beer, try to like free my mind. And it's like, he starts playing the song, and he's like, I want to bring out my buddy SAMMY WILK. And then he like looks over, and he goes like this, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'm freaking out inside, and I like jog out. I had the most awkward jog ever. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, because he called me out before my verse. And so I had like a full like 45 seconds of like standing there, and I see like 17,000 people, and I'm like, oh, I'm like I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like dancing. He's like singing the hook, because it's hook first, and then my verse comes in, and I start like, Nebraska's where I'm coming from. Relax and take a puff, and I see people start like standing up, and right when I started saying my verse, like the nerves flew away, and I like see people like standing up, and they're like waving their Jamaican flag and like going, like everyone starts standing up, and I'm just like doing it as best as I can, and
I'm like getting goosebumps when you telling me this.
It's crazy. And so like they're going crazy. I'm looking at Ky Mani, and I'm like, I got the biggest smile on my face ever. And hit the song. People loved it. People were like clapping. Me and Ky Mani dapped up. I was like, bro, I appreciate you. I said I could like thank you. You're the man for this. Left, and that was that. And it went by so quick, because I was so nervous for 48 hours or whatever, for like that 2-minute window. Like 2-minute window was so worth the nerves, and it was just like, I don't know, like to this day that was one of the most like incredible moments ever. You know what I'm saying? And then like after the show, I was like walking, I left the show, walked to this little pizza spot, and when I'm walking, there's like moms. They're like, were you the kid that was on stage? What's that? And like they're like taking pictures. I was like, I've never had moms do this. But,
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, it was crazy. That was amazing.
Yeah. What was the decision behind like starting the Freshly record instead of like going with a record company?
Yeah. Freshly was like, it was something that me and Nate were doing. We just would say Freshly a lot, and we just wanted, we wanted to move it like independently. And honestly, I'm not really rocking with Freshly anymore. It kind of dwindled out. Just like, different, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I don't even know what the word I'm looking for.
I don't know what you mean though.
Word. Like it was just like, there was different wants and different needs from like everybody. So we were like, all right, we're just gonna do this our own. Mm-hmm. But I'm still independent, and I plan on being independent for a little while.
Yeah. What's the decision that you want to do everything yourself?
So like at this point, because the past like 2 years, or 3 years, 2.5 years, I've done the majority of everything by myself. Mm-hmm. Obviously with like the help of like mom and dad. I'm like, hey, what should I do here? Like my sister setting up stuff, and like it's been good, but after a while it takes a toll on you, because like I know other people can be getting me more stuff that are like in this, like in the entertainment industry, like people that know music and know these different aspects of this, like of this industry. And so like I'm to a point now where I am looking for like a manager, and I'm looking for my agent right now. I've been taking a lot of meetings because I'm getting ready to drop another project.
Oh wow.
Early spring. And I want to do this one right. I want to do it correctly and like make sure it gets to the ears that it's supposed to get to. And yeah, I'm just ready to spread this music because it's cool. It's a much more mature sound, and it's like the hip hop reggae feel. There's more emotions like shared with it, and so I want people to hear it and like take it for what it is and enjoy it for spring, summer, for the rest of their lives. And so I want to do it correctly. So that's why I've been meeting with more people and trying to get somebody to help me out and help push it. And stuff like that.
What was the decision behind your clothing line?
I mean, Wilk is dope, and Wilk, I wanted to wear my own clothes. I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to wear other people's clothes. I'd rather wear my own stuff, and so that was really it. But I didn't want to make merch, like merchy merch, like like my face on it. I want it to be like cool. People that don't know who I am or don't know my music or whatever, if they see it, they're like, hey, I rock with that. I want to wear that. And so I just wanted to make like a much more mature clothing. I mean, you can call it merch or whatever you want, a clothing line. And it's, Wilk, if you want to take it, like, it's we inspire the lives of kids.
Oh, okay.
I give 10% to a nonprofit. The first one I was focusing on was Shine On in Sierra Leone. And I traveled out there. I don't know if you saw those videos or not.
Yeah.
But I traveled out. I traveled out to Sierra Leone, building a school for kids that have to walk 9 miles to school and 9 miles back. So we're trying to build a school that's closer to their village. And so I wanted to use my platform to help and inspire kids, and that's really what I was trying to do. So I was trying to do it in a cool way, get people clothes. 10% is going back to a nonprofit, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And it's nothing too crazy, but I'm extremely attached to it, and I love it. And I got more Wilk clothing coming for you guys.
Like, what was the decision behind doing it there compared to like in the U.S., where there's still a lot of problems here?
Honestly, the opportunity came to me, and I've been to Africa once before. Went to Malawi, and I loved it. And when I was like every time I meditate, I always picture like me with those kids in Malawi. I was playing soccer with them and playing basketball, and so I just really wanted to find a way to go back there. Somewhere in Africa was where I kept meditating it, and come like beginning, it was probably like March of 2017. I met a lady that is the owner, CEO of Shine On Sierra Leone, and we chopped it up, and I told her what I did, and she was like, this is amazing, like, this is exactly what you were exactly what I've been looking for to help me show and like get eyes on Shine On Sierra Leone. And so like we just did it like right then and there. We're like, we got to figure out in the next month and a half, 2 months, how we can make this work. And I'm just about helping kids. I know there are a lot of like, U.S. is obviously kind of like on a weird state, like in a weird state right now. But we're not nearly, like we're much more blessed than the kids in Sierra Leone. And so I'm just trying to give it back to whoever needs it, and that's just kind of how it came to me, and I was blessed to do it, and that's one of the most, like, Sierra Leone is one of the most powerful places I've ever been, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
How
do you think you've grown as a person since when you started?
From when I started, I've become a much more like mature. I read this book. My dad gave me this book, and it's called Backbone. And it's about whether you can take the black road or the red road. The black road is the road that a lot of people take, and it's the easy road, and you kind of just float around, and like, you get meshed easily, and by people's opinions or whatever it is. And I feel like I really like grew up that way, and luckily I was blessed with like an amazing family, so it didn't really like negatively affect me. It didn't like hurt me in any way. But if I took that same mentality when I moved out to LA, I would be like I would just be shit at this point. I would like, I wouldn't. It's because people can sway your opinions really easily out here, and so when I got out here, I started like I read that book. You gotta follow the red road and like have a sturdy, like intuition and like know the moves you want to make, have a vision, know what your mission is, have a purpose, and live to that every day when you wake up, and meditate it and manifest it. And that was like that's one of the biggest things I've learned to this day is that meditation really works and like manifestation really works, and to trust yourself and don't change for other people because you're all you got, and if you change because of other people, like you're lost, and it's tough to come back from that. So yeah, I've just I've figured out my purpose. I figured out my mission, what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to leave my mark on this world or whoever I meet in life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm not trying to get too deep about it, but that's just really like what it is. And I love to have fun, and I like to smile, and I like to make other people feel good and live my life to the fullest, and hopefully it influences other people to live their life to the fullest. And just continue to do what you love.
Other than like trusting the wrong people at the onset, what other challenges do you think you've had so far?
I mean, a challenge in itself for me is kind of how I just explained, like trusting myself and trusting my gut. I mean, like, because you said like other than trusting other people, but like even a challenge for me is to trust myself, because I am hearing these opinions and I hear these things and like I don't know if that's the right song for it or like whatever it may be, and then like then I start to like second guess myself, and it's just challenging to like really figure out which angle to take in life and like what is the right thing to do, especially out here when there's so many different people, so many different opinions, and like the commitment thing I was talking about, it's that's a huge challenge for me, is to commit to somebody to help me run my life and like bring my visions to life. And I mean, I think I'll get it soon enough, but it's tough. It's tough coming from like Midwest and coming out here with like way more people and meeting way more people, and I want to be the best. I know I'm gonna be the best, but you just got to find your angle on what to take.
Yeah. What does success look like to you?
Success to me, I would say success to me is living a happy, stress-free life, having goals and accomplishing the goals that I set for myself, having a happy family, is with I have that right now with my my 3 siblings and my 2 parents, traveling the world, and selling out arenas, and I don't know, I feel like success is just the goals, just accomplish goals, whether it's small goals that you set, because goals, like accomplishing goals, will become a habit. If today you just want to clean your room, make sure you clean your room. Tomorrow you want to write a song, make sure you write the song. And once you continue to accomplish those goals, then you start doing, I want to sell out 2,000 seats next June in New York, and then that'll become, you'll manifest, like you can manifest that, and you can, if you set your mind to it, it'll work. And so that's my success. Signs of success.
What does love mean to you?
Love is being able to love yourself enough to be alone by yourself for extended periods of time, not depending on anybody else. Love doesn't mean depending, like it's 50-50 relationship, but it's actually a 100-100 relationship when it's you and another individual. Love is accepting. Love is tough. Love's tough.
Yeah.
Love is magical. I'm a lover. Deep down, I'm like a big lover. Like, and when I love you, I love you. And you know, it's like, man, love is crazy. Honestly, I'm like thinking about all the different types of love. But like, I'm such a lover. So like when I love you, I'm gonna give you a lot of whatever it is. I'll give you a lot of time. And time's the most valuable thing. I love in a lot of different ways. But when there's true love, like a true love connection, and it's like you click and you can be yourself, and you can be stupid together and be weird. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do whatever it is, and you're not worried about what they're thinking. Like love is worryless. And it's like trustful, and it's what's love to you mean? What's love to you mean? Forever happiness. Love is happiness. That's true. Love is happiness.
Yeah.
What's love to you?
Being totally, like, just completely yourself, and that's the happiest feeling, when you can be totally yourself with whoever it might be, like even like parents, totally being like open to them. Yep. And like just no barriers, and that's just so happy when everyone accepts you and you can just say whatever you want. Amen. Amen. Yeah, last question. Yeah.
Love is nuts. Have you ever fell in love? Have you ever fell in love?
Yeah, now.
Oh, you're in love right now?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Me too. Yeah, congratulations on the love.
What do you want to be remembered for?
My love. I want to be remembered for the way I lived and the smiles that I put on people's faces and the music I've created, and I just want to touch lives. I want to touch everybody's lives that I come into contact with, and know that I was having the most fun with them, and I want to be remembered as optimistic through everything. I always see the good side of even bad things. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate you guys.